So I've Carol here with me. This is the first time we've met in person. So I've just done my nice
Hello.
to meet yous. Thank you for volunteering.
Yeah, I'll tell you later whether I was right to do that or not.
Yeah, no, we'll find. I guess we'll find out whether I was right to invite you.
I see where this is going.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. Well, you tell me, right? Like what will be helpful for you to talk about today? Like, tell me what's going on.
I kind of feel like I'm stuck, totally stuck in the way I think, and I think I put it out there once before that I think it's my age. I'm 67 this year, and I kind of think, well, am I so stuck in my thinking that my brain is kind of not wanting to go with this, but really it does.
Right.
It's so frustrating, really frustrating. I so want this to work
Right.
because of my panic attacks, because I don't like going into crowds. I mean, I didn't sleep last night knowing I was coming on this call today. I
Yeah.
was so nervous. So I didn't sleep at all. I just sat watching videos. And I just wonder if it is because of my age that I can't change that.
Well, no, but so I'm curious if what is because of your age?
That I feel stuck. That I don't, my brain doesn't want to accept this new idea of the inside out. And I just want it to work, but there's something inside of me that won't let it.
Right. So
I find it so frustrating.
yeah, and I know it might be frustrating, but I'm going to ask you some stupid questions, right? But
Yeah.
so tell me what you mean by stuck, by you want it to work and it's not working. Like, tell me a little bit more about your experience of that, just in a practical way. So you're listening, I mean, you've come through the 6-week program, right? So you're listening
Yeah.
to the videos, you've come to the Q&A calls.
Yeah.
And what are you expecting to happen that isn't? Like, what is this stuck thing that, like, what does that mean to you?
Well, I hear it, and day to day, it feels good. But then when I come to
what does, Carol? What feels good?
I do feel slightly different. I do feel I'm not very eloquent. That's
Right.
my problem. I feel happier,
Right.
if you like. But then when it actually comes to a situation, as in going out, I was supposed to go to a christening a couple of weeks ago. I said, no, I can't go. I'm flat out, I can't go. I didn't even try.
Yeah.
I've got a large dental appointment coming up and I'm scared stiff. So, as I say, day to day, I think, yeah, this is going to work. This is going to work. And then when it comes to it, it doesn't seem to. And I don't know what to do about that.
Right.
How to get round these things.
Okay. So does it look to you like this understanding is something that you have to learn to apply to situations? And if you don't apply it to the situations, and for some reason you're not sure how to apply it to the dental, the christening, if you can't work out how to apply it because something to do with your brain being a certain age that it is, but that's in the mix somewhere. But like, if you can't work out how to apply it, then you're never going to be able to do these things. So it's not working. Right.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And
I feel muddled, totally muddled. I mean, I've read loads of podcasts. I've listened to podcasts. I've listened to Sid Banks. I've listened to Michael Neal, Jill Whalen, yourself. And sometimes it just doesn't make any sense at all.
Yeah.
But I listen anyway. I keep waiting for this huge or something.
Right.
But
yeah. What do you think is going to happen when you get it?
I'm going to feel all right. That's what I'm hoping for. But I know that's not possible. It doesn't work like that. But there's a part of me that is waiting for it. And I wonder if that's holding me back.
Waiting for what? To feel
and insight, this big wow.
Yeah.
But I don't seem to have that. And when you read the people on Facebook, they're all like, oh yeah, this and this. I'm thinking, well, I haven't had that. What's wrong with me?
Where's my insights?
Eh?
Where's my insights? I want my insights. I'm doing the work. Where are my insights? Not
Yes.
there. Must
I've
be
got
my
the ump.
Yeah, must be my I love it. I bet anything that you find tricky, it's like, oh, it must be my age.
Yes, I am.
Okay, well, where do we start here? So
God knows.
yeah, God knows. Unhelpable, sorry. So often, especially with people with anxiety, right, it seems to me that we're in this conversation in order to, right? We signed up on the programs, we're here listening to this because in order to change our experience, in order to feel better, in order to, the thing we don't like changes. And so we listen through the filter of that all the time. So we have got this filter of, yeah, but how is that helpful to me? Yeah, but where's my insight? And then we start to hear about this magical thing called insight. So change is only going to happen when I have an insight. So where's my insight? So now I'm listening with the filter of like, well, how is this relevant to me? How is this going to fix my thing? And then we're looking for, where's my insight? Where's my big epiphany? Yes, everything for me. Like, I want one of those. I can hear stories of those on your podcast. I want me one of them.
Yes,
right?
Please.
yeah. And no wonder you're feeling frustrated, right? So tell me a little bit about the feeling happier thing.
How do you mean?
Well, you said like on a day-to-day basis, you find that you're sort of feeling a bit happier.
Yes, more relaxed.
Yeah, tell me how that's different. Tell me what that looks like. Tell me a little bit more.
I used to wake up every single morning with panic attacks. As soon as I was awake, bang, that was it. Yes, I do still get them, and usually in the morning, even if it's at breakfast time, more so than later on, but I haven't been getting them quite as much. So something's obviously shifted. For me to not, I mean, I thought I would get up this morning and have one because I didn't sleep. I was getting all sort of, this woman's coming on my machine.
Scary woman.
But I didn't. So, you know, something has obviously shifted.
That's weird.
Yeah.
No panic attack when expected.
No.
Anyway. Fuck that. Where's my insight? Where's the change going to happen? Like, I want the change.
Yes, I do. I want to go out. I want to mix. I want to go to I say I've got a hospital appointment. I've got a dental appointment, which is a big one. I'll have to do them, but how do I get through them without or running?
Okay, so I just pointed you at something. You have a slight recognition of something, and we're so quick to dismiss it. Right? It's like things in our real lives are starting to shift and change. Our experience is changing. There's no strategy or technique that you're using to lessen your panic attacks.
No.
In the morning. And in fact, you seem to not be having them where you could pretty much have guaranteed that you thought you would do.
Yeah, I actually expected it this morning.
Yeah. Now, we just go, yeah, whatevs. Anyway, what about everything else? And it's like when change happens through this conversation, it happens so quietly and beautifully. It's like so effortlessly. It's so quiet. It's like it sneaks in and the world just starts looking different. But because there isn't a moment of epiphany or a big change, it's like we get it for free. Right? So we never appreciate what we get for free.
No.
right? Now, it's like you're exploring the principles, you're exploring this understanding on one hand, and beautifully and gracefully, this change is unfolding in your life. And then the intellect jumps in and goes, yeah, but that counts for nothing because it didn't get involved. So it didn't, no, nothing's happening yet. I haven't changed anything yet. Like I'm more interested in, and our intellect will always think of another thing that it needs to change in order to be okay. Yeah, that's great, but I just, not asking for much. I just want blah, blah, blah to be able to go to christening, or I just want to be able to not feel nervous about this call coming up. And totally with one thought dismisses this whole beautiful change that's unfolding. That's so subtle because it's been so effortless that we hardly noticed it at all. It didn't register.
Yeah.
Right. And so often what happens, where I see people get frustrated in this conversation, is a few different areas. Like one is listening in order to. So creating an idea of what a fixed carol looks like. Well, I should be able to say yes to the christening. I should be able to do this. I should be able to feel like that. And I should be able to not feel like that anymore. And we have our idea of what progress looks like. Right?
Yeah.
We talked on a module about that, but we have this like checklist. If I can't do these things, then I'm not fixed yet. So it hasn't worked. And then we create an idea of expectation of time. So it's so funny. It's like, I used to use this example a lot, but it's like you've never driven before. You started on this course and you started learning how the car really works. And you're like, yeah, but I don't know how to do 3-point turns. And if I can't do 3-point turns, then I'm not driving. Maybe it's just my age.
Have you met me?
Maybe it's my age, right?
You've definitely met me.
But it's so common. It's like, yeah, I get that I can drive forward. Whatevs. Anyway, what about 3-point turns? And you're like, hold your horses. Did you see how cool it is? You can drive a car and you could never drive a car before. And you're like, yeah, but.
Yeah.
And we dismiss it. So we have an idea of, yeah, but I've been driving for 6 weeks now. I should be able to do 3-point turns. I can see people in the Facebook saying that they're doing 3-point turns and they did it after week 3. Why am I not doing it after week 3?
Makes me sound like a 4-year-old.
But it's true for all of us, because we create expectation through thought. We create an expectation of a timeline. We create an expectation of a journey. We think we know what the journey is going to look like. And what we are doing, like what we're doing in the 6-week program, right? What we're doing as we get introduced to this conversation is a pointing in a direction of mental health, of peace of mind, about showing people where to look. Now, when people look, like, because most people come into my programs, they come to this understanding running really, really, really fast in the wrong direction, right? So they're like, give me the strategies, give me the techniques, give me the tools. Just, tell me what to do and I'll do it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Me too. Yeah. And every other client.
Yeah.
And what the programs do, what this sort of introductory understanding, what I hope the book will do, right, is just wake people up and go, hang on a minute, look this way. There's somewhere else to look. There's a different understanding here. But if you look this way, and it's so counterintuitive to everything you've been doing for 10 years, 20 years, 50 years, whatever. But if you can look this way, there's an understanding here. There's a truth here that you'll start to see something different about how human beings work, where peace of mind lies. And as you start to look in that direction, you'll start to really experience your own innate mental health, your own peace of mind. Because when you're running this way, you think it's gone, you've lost it, it's escaped your fingers, right? Like you're trying to grasp it and it's just your stability, your mental health is eluding you. when we look this way, we start to see the solid ground of the fact it never went anywhere, and that we'd covered it over with piles of thought, that we'd gotten loads of misunderstanding about where it lies. And that whole exploration you've done so far has shifted you from here to here. That's the biggest move, in my opinion, right?
Yeah.
Like the turning of the head is the biggest game changer. So from here on in, while you continue to look and explore, there'll be these beautiful, graceful changes in experience as your understanding of who you really are and how life works start to become clearer and clearer and clearer for you. And the way they become clearer and clearer and clearer is all the misunderstandings get dissolved, right, with understanding.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it worked that if I could go to the wedding, if I could go to the christening, then I would be feeling in a better state of mind today than I am if I can't go to the christening. I thought my well-being somehow was linked to whether I can go to christenings or not. And you
do. Yeah. Ridiculous.
But then you start to see, like, oh my God, my well-being has nothing to do with whether I can go to christenings or not.
It sounds so silly, doesn't it?
But it looks like that's true, and then you suddenly see that it can't possibly be.
Yeah.
Because we're exploring the inside nature of reality, and we've never considered that fact before. What do you mean I don't, like, if I have to say no to every social invitation for the rest of my life, that I could still experience profound well-being? I never thought of that before.
Yeah.
And another veil of misunderstanding falls away, and reality looks, it's closer to truth. Now, as we keep looking in that direction, these veils, right, life will keep showing us stuff. No, hang on a minute. Maybe it's related to your bank account. Maybe it's related to your age. Maybe it's related to your health. You know, like, have a broken leg and see if that impacts your well-being, right? Like, life will throw us continual challenges,
Oh, yeah.
right, to see more about our misunderstandings. And as those misunderstandings fall away, then the kind of the light of our innate health shines more brightly, more and more and more and more brightly. Now, I know that's true.
Yeah.
In your experience, because you've just told me. I was running this way, doing all the techniques and strategies and all the rest of it. Through this exploration, I've turned around this way. And weirdly, like, my panic attacks aren't occurring when they normally would, and my panic attacks in the morning seem to be fewer. That's evidence that I'm looking in the right direction.
Yeah. I was on standby with the diazepam this morning.
Yeah.
But no.
Yeah.
And you're not as scary.
I'm not that scary. I'm really not. But it's what happens, Carol, is that, like, as we're looking in this direction, we can't help but more and more and more of those filters start falling away.
Mm.
And this is a lifelong exploration.
Yes.
It's not a 6-week exploration. It's a 6 weeks. The 6 weeks, the intention is that you turn around and get curious about, what? Oh my goodness. And you start to see for yourself that things in life are starting to shift without you really doing anything.
Yeah.
Curious about that. And so that's why we continue to explore. And for me, like, I see new things I wouldn't be able to create videos every week if I wasn't continually seeing new things all the time.
True.
A lifelong journey. Like 5-6 years I've been looking in this direction, and still I have insights every week that like, I never knew that before, right?
Yeah. Yes, I've only been doing it since July.
Yeah. So it's not a race, and direction is more important than speed. Always.
Yeah. Definitely a tortoise.
A tortoise, yeah, I love that in our Facebook group. People say tortoises, right? And me too, right? And there's the idea that insight should happen at a certain speed is a thought.
Mm.
And it's a thought we can get really tangled up with, and we can really buy into. But we know, right? We start having that thought, we start feeling really crap about ourselves. We know we don't have to take that thinking so seriously.
Yeah.
And then we always look to things in the outside world to explain it. And you've happened to pick age.
Yeah.
Now, age does not make you immune from insight.
That sounds so silly now.
Yeah, but it's good to know.
Yeah, it is good to know.
Because if you've been laboring under the impression that your age has got something to do with your ability to experience insight.
Yeah, I really have.
Yeah, then it's just another veil of misunderstanding. Like, human beings are designed to have insight from the moment they're born, right? Like one of the first insights that we have is like, oh, I am not my mum. Like, we don't have an understanding of that when we're born. And then at some point we have an idea of separation and we experience that as an insight. We see something new and different. And then we realize that this thing that keeps hitting our face is part of us. Oh, another insight, a realization. And then we kind of realize when we get a bit older that if we put our legs up, like, the walking is a cooler way to get around than crawling. It's an insight. We're built for it.
Yeah.
No one has to train a baby how to have insight. It's a natural capacity that we all have, and can't be altered by age, intelligence, education, gender, race, illness. The capacity for insight never deserts us, ever. And insight is what creates change. Insight is oh, I didn't realize it was just about direction, not speed. Like, you have the capacity to realize that. We all do.
That's nice to know. Yeah. Hopefully that'll sink in. I've written it down.
Well, here's the thing, right? Like, it sounds like a nice idea that age has nothing to do with it. That age cannot impact on our ability to have insight. And it sounds enough of an interesting idea that we've written it down. But now, don't take my word for it. Like, go out in life and see if it's true. Next time you bump into a 90-year-old person, right?
I do, my dad every...
Right. Next time you see your dad, watch him. Does he have the capacity for insight? Does he have a capacity for fresh thought? Does he have the ability to experience the thought he's never had before?
Yes, he does.
Right.
Yeah. Amazing 92-year-old still goes on holiday on his own and drives and yeah.
And has the capacity for insight, and insight is what creates change.
Yeah, he does.
See, now if you really see that for yourself, then the thought that, well, I can't get this because I'm whatever age, just stop showing up. Like, it might show up, but you're no longer interested in paying it attention because it just doesn't look valid anymore.
Yeah.
And so it is with all the reasons we think we're not getting it. Even though the evidence is demonstrating quite clearly we are.
Well, yeah. It's not till you point it out that you realise that you really are. But having it pointed out to you is, I think, something we should all have. It's good.
Yeah, but here's the thing, right? I can point it and point it and point it, but if you don't look and you don't see it, it will do nothing for you.
Yeah.
But because you're listening, and because even though you're the age that you are,
Methuselah.
even that, like, you've seen something about how change is occurring, even though you thought it wasn't.
Yeah.
That's an insight. You've seen that for you. Like, I can tell you, you can write down as many times as you like, change is occurring for me, change is occurring for me. But unless you look and see the truth for yourself, it's not an insight.
No.
It's not, you need to see it for you. And I think from what you just said, you have seen something new.
Definitely. Yeah.
Now, for me,
Take time to digest it as well.
yeah.
Yeah.
For me, the knowing that direction was more important than speed. Just took so much thought, layers of thought, pressure off. Oh, this is a lifelong journey. Oh, there's always more to see. I'm never done. Okay.
Yeah.
Now I get to appreciate the bits that I do see.
Yes. Yeah. You kind of just, as soon as you start the conversation, you kind of think, okay, been doing this for a month now. Where is it?
Yeah.
And it's not there. But yeah, change is very, very slow with me, but it is showing up. I saw my cousin the other day, and her grandson is doing something that she doesn't really want him to do, and he's going away, and oh my God, what if they don't look after him? What if he goes on the beach and they don't put his sun cream on? What if this, what if this, what if this? And I looked at her and I said, stop it. I said, you're thinking yourself up. And I used the word thought storm. And then afterwards, my daughter looked at me and went, do you realise what you've just done?
Sharing
just
what you
yeah. And I could see what she was doing.
Yeah.
But you can't see it yourself. But I could see that she was whipping it up. I mean, he hadn't even gone yet. But she had him drowning, burning to death, and starving probably. And it was interesting.
Yeah.
Just
but even like the insights that you've had so far allow you to have a different relationship with that experience, to see something different.
Yeah.
What's showing up in front of you. So rather than helping her see before understanding, like she's freaking out and you're trying to help her mitigate the circumstances. So okay, right, yeah, well, if he gets caught in it's fine because he's got armbands. If it burns down, they do have fire alarm. We're trying to reassure, we're in the content of somebody's thinking, with the content of their thinking, and we're trying to argue with them why the content of their thinking is like,
yeah,
they'll be okay.
Yeah.
And this instead is you point to the nature of like what ifing.
Yeah. It was so interesting, but it was, oh yeah. So, you have learned something. So, but it was fascinating.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's good.
Well, we're going to have another call together. So I would love this just to settle with you, this idea that, oh, what if it's true that I have seen something? What if it's true that this is so graceful it's almost invisible? What if it's true that age is no barrier to insight? And I just want you to sit with those and just see what you see before we talk again. See what you see about those things.
Okay.
Cool. Because I tell you that so common to skip over our insights and say, yeah, now I want the next thing. Always looking for the next thing, always looking for the next thing. And to sit in appreciation of what we do see and what we do know, that's how our grounding, our understanding expands. Is in an appreciation for what we are seeing.
Yeah.
We always think we've got to go and look over here at the next thing so we can get more understanding, but actually appreciating and noticing what it is that we're already seeing is the way to see more.
Fascinating.
Yeah,
that's a lot to think about.
That's all right. Well, I'll give you a copy of this video as well, so you can go back and listen.
Thank you. Oh, that's great. Thank you.
I'm glad I wasn't too scary.
No, I think I might sleep next time.
Yeah. We have no idea. We'll find out, right? We have no way of predicting.
We don't, but I'll let you know.
Yeah, cool. Thank you very much, Carol.
It's been very insightful. Thank you. Nice to meet you.